Hello again, my friends. This is Father Richard, and I have the camera turned around at this point so that I can speak directly to you. And I'm walking around in St. Peter's. You can see that obviously there are tons and tons and tons of people around me, behind me, not above me, that's the Roman sky, but certainly around me in the square today. Lots and lots of folks. The plethora of languages is unbelievable. If you don't like one, choose one of 100. I'm hearing obviously some Italian, but I've heard English, I've heard Tagalog, I've heard various Asian languages, of course, that I don't understand at all. But there is here in St. Peter's today, my friends, it's the whole world. The whole world is here in terms of the representation of the people that I see, and everyone is totally involved in the scene that we're seeing. People are taking pictures, obviously, and lots of video. I'm now looking out towards the exit of the piazza, which is out ahead of me there. And behind me, where you're looking, is the colonnade. And if I turn this way, you're going to see the facade of St. Peter's behind me at a certain point, and also the Apostolic Palace. There's the facade of St. Peter's. And in some unknown period of time, when the cardinal electors have selected the successor to Pope Francis, he will appear on the balcony in the center of St. Peter's Basilica, up above the central doors, and will be introduced to the crowd. That's what everyone here is waiting for, because the cardinals at this time are in fact in the midst of voting. We don't know how it's going on, because obviously it's behind the locked doors of the conclave. And I just discovered, by the way, a few days ago, that the word that we use, conclave, comes from two Latin words, cum clavus, which means literally with the key or behind the key. And so we get the English word conclave, but it means that they're basically locked up. So the very last public words that are said before the cardinals begin their deliberation is extra omnes, by the senior cardinal there, Cardinal Parolin in this case, said it. And that meant, if I could put it broadly, plainly, everyone get out. Only the cardinals are left in, they're locked in, the key is turned, and they then vote. And then after the day of the voting, there are two votes on any given day. There was one yesterday, was not successful. Around 9 o'clock last night, the black smoke escaped from the chimney. We're still waiting for the morning vote now. There will be another vote this afternoon as well. If it's white, then we're going to obviously get a pope who's going to be elected. If it's black, that means they're going to go on to another vote. If they don't get someone by this evening, then there'll be two more votes tomorrow, and so forth and so on, until someone gets the 2/3 majority of the 133 cardinals necessary to elect a new Holy Father for our church. It's a very ancient process. It's been developed over centuries to be exactly what it is, and it's intricate and is bound by very strict rules of secrecy and procedure. So my own, again, feeling to be here is that I have to feel blessed and just fortunate. This entire trip that has brought me to this point, arriving on the Feast of St. Peregrine, just before the Feast of St. Peregrine, having spent a week in Forlì, celebrating the feast of our great saint, patron of those with cancer, and also my anniversary of ordination on his feast this past Sunday, which was my 41st anniversary of ordination, and then to be here, to come back to Rome just yesterday or the day before. Came back on Tuesday, as a matter of fact. Today is Thursday. To be here just in time for the opening of the conclave. It just could not possibly have been planned that way. It's just the way it is, and I feel so utterly privileged to be part of this historic moment. I'll be telling you stories, in real life when I get back to the States and back to home in California. But until then, I'm just sort of relating to you in these little videos what it's like to be here. And I've repeated often, and I keep repeating it. I honestly feel that all of you are here with me, and I've been keeping you all in my prayers off and on all day, every day. Every time I have Mass. This morning we had a concelebrated Mass downstairs in the chapel of the college, the Sant'Alessio Falconieri College, where I studied theology 45 years ago. Same chapel, looked the same today with some updating as it did 45 years ago. It's like returning home for me. And so here I am in Rome, and keeping up with the whole world. Like I said, I believe it or not, I'm at a loss for words. And those of you that know me know that that's really an odd thing. When Father Richard is lost for words, there are not many words to say. Oh my goodness gracious. So I'm going to stay here at least until the vote is finished and we get some white or black smoke. If the white smoke comes and that means they've elected somebody, obviously I will stay, because after that vote is taken, if it's successful, about 45 minutes later they present the new Pope to the world, and that would be something that I want to be here for. If the vote is black smoke, that means they're going to wait till this afternoon. I will also take a break and probably go out the piazza, because it so happens that my mother was born in Rome in 1925, and she was born only about maybe a half a mile or so away from St. Peter's. And I know the street. She told me this story many years ago, a street called the Via Germanico. That's where her family lived, and I found that street here. And a street or so over from that, on the Via della Scipioni, is a church called the Our Lady of the Rosary, La Chiesa della Madonna del Rosario, and she was baptized there. I'm going to go over there and see if I can find and get a copy of her baptismal certificate. So doing that and taking a break in the midday, then I will eventually get back here and see if I can be around long enough to witness the second vote of the day, if it goes that far, and see where we go from there. So in any case, I'm going to bid you farewell for, again, a few moments. If the smoke begins coming from the chimney, I'll switch the camera back on. I end every video with our Servite blessing. May the Blessed Virgin Mary watch over you with Christ her Son. Let's pray for the cardinals today. God bless you all.